The art museum's members-only night was an affair of quiet opulence. Velvet ropes framed the newest exhibits. Champagne flutes glittered in the low light, and whispers of admiration echoed through the halls. Selene glided through the crowd, a vision of elegance in a deep red gown that clung to her curves and shimmered like molten gold under the gallery lights. Her presence demanded attention, and yet she moved as if unaware of the gazes trailing her. It was here she first noticed him. Jordan, a tech mogul known for his obsession with beauty and brilliance. He was impeccably dressed, his tailored suit exuding wealth, but it was the way he lingered before a piece of sculpture of a siren, luring sailors to their doom, that piqued her interest. His gaze was reverent, his posture deferential, as though the artwork might come alive at any moment. Selene smiled. A worshipper, she approached, her heels clicking softly against the polished floor. Standing just beside him, she tilted her head, letting her hair cascade over one shoulder. Beautiful, isn't she? Jordan turned, startled, his eyes widening slightly as they met hers. Incredible, he murmured, his voice low. The detail, the power in her expression. It's mesmerizing. Selene's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. And dangerous. Don't forget that part. He blinked, caught off guard. Dangerous? Of course, she replied, her voice dipping into a seductive lilt. The siren's beauty is her weapon. She draws you in, holds you captive, and before you realize it, you're completely at her mercy. Jordan's throat worked as he swallowed, his gaze locked on her. And do you think that's a fair trade? Captivity for beauty? Selene's smile deepened. That depends on the prisoner. They wandered through the gallery together, their conversation an intricate dance of wit and flirtation. Jordan was enraptured, hanging on her every word as she spoke of art, passion, and the power of allure. You seem to have a profound appreciation for beauty, Selene remarked as they paused before a painting of Aphrodite rising from the sea. But do you understand what it means to serve it? Serve it? He echoed, his brow furrowing slightly. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a near whisper. True worship isn't passive. It's an act of devotion, of sacrifice. To truly honor beauty, one must be willing to give something of themselves. Don't you agree? Jordan's breath hitched. I suppose I do. Selene's gaze held his, unrelenting. And what would you give, Jordan, to honor something or someone truly extraordinary? He hesitated, caught in her spell. Anything, he said at last, his voice trembling slightly. Anything at all. The next day, Jordan received a sleek black envelope delivered to his penthouse. Inside was an elegant card bearing only a time, a location, and the words, "Come prepared to prove your devotion." The address led him to an exclusive gallery event where Selene was waiting. She wore a midnight blue dress, her elegance magnified by the room's soft lighting. A glass of champagne rested in her hand as she greeted him with a cool, knowing smile. "You came," she said, her tone carrying the faintest trace of amusement. "Of course," he replied, his voice steady despite the flutter in his chest. Selene gestured to a nearby piece, a sculpture by a struggling artist she had discovered. "This is my favorite tonight, but it's not appreciated as it should be. Pieces like this often go unnoticed because they lack the right patrons." Jordan frowned slightly, sensing her meaning. "How much does it need?" Selene's smile widened. "A starting bid would be $50,000. But a true patron would ensure the artist's future, not just their present. He hesitated only briefly before nodding. Consider it done. Over the following weeks, Selene led Jordan through a series of demands, each designed to test his devotion and financial commitment. She had him fund scholarships for underprivileged art students, donate rare pieces to local museums, and sponsor an entire wing of a gallery in her name. Each contribution was met with subtle, intoxicating rewards. A brush of her fingers as she took the check. A soft word of praise that made his chest swell with pride. A lingering gaze that left him desperate for more. One evening, after a particularly generous donation, Selene invited him to a private dinner. The restaurant was candlelit, the atmosphere intimate. She leaned forward, her voice a low purr. "You've impressed me, Jordan. Few men understand the true meaning of devotion." He flushed under her gaze. I just want to honor you, to be worthy of your attention." "And you have," she murmured, reaching out to trace a finger along his wrist. "But true worthiness isn't a single act. It's a way of life. Are you prepared to dedicate yourself fully?" Jordan nodded, his voice trembling. "Yes, whatever you ask." Selene's final demand came during a gala she hosted to celebrate the opening of the gallery wing Jordan had funded. The event was lavish, the guest list exclusive, and the centerpiece was a sculpture Selene had commissioned, a stunning piece depicting a siren surrounded by offerings. As the evening progressed, Selene took Jordan aside. "There's one last thing I require of you," she said, her eyes gleaming. "A foundation, one that supports the preservation of beauty in all its forms. You'll fund it, of course, and I'll oversee it." Jordan didn't hesitate. "It will be done, whatever you need." Selene's smile was radiant. "Good, because beauty deserves worship, and so do I." As the gala continued, Jordan watched her move through the crowd, the embodiment of power and grace. He knew he would never escape her spell, nor did he want to. She had taken his wealth and molded it into something greater, leaving him forever tethered to her will. Selene, the siren, had claimed her worshipper, and in doing so, she had created a masterpiece of her own.